Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War, our Confederate Let's Play series of this new strategy and tactical strategy and war game. That's a lot of buzzwords right there real quick at the beginning, but you know what this is. This is episode number 10. We've been doing this for a while now. We are picking up where we left off at the end of episode number 9, and that is with Joseph E. Johnston's Army of the Shenandoah attempting to move up the Shenandoah Valley to retake the bulk of the valley from the Union. We had been pushed back to Fredericksburg after a defeat near Manassas. We were able to win a couple of battles down near Fredericksburg, and now we've begun a flanking movement to get the valley and its vital crops and that part of the Confederacy back in our control, while we also continue to hold near Fredericksburg in a little bit southern, not really southern Virginia, but a little bit less northern in any event. With that being said, we have triggered a battle against Major General Cadwalader's Army of the Susquehanna, and this fight looks like it'll be a relatively even one in terms of manpower. Now, typically in this game, if you've got a roughly even fight against the AI, you've got a pretty big advantage. So we'll see if that's the case in this fight. We are trying to get up toward, if not all the way up to Harper's Ferry, then at least toward Winchester to see if we can, again, retake the bulk of the valley. And then once we do that, maybe we'll open things up for a drive of the Army of Northern Virginia up toward Manassas and a return to the northernmost reaches of the state. But with that being said, this was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel, so let's go ahead and jump back into this thing, and I hope you guys enjoy. Rosham, thank you for the follow. Lord Real Commander, thank you for the follow. All right, well, we're going to jump into this battle and see what we can do. See if we can drive these boys back. Solo, thank you for the follow. The Battle of New Market. After initial skirmishing and maneuvers, the opposing armies are deploying for battle. Major General Cadwalader. All right. Are we on the offensive? We are. Attack the enemy. Our scouts report the enemy is near New Market, Virginia, and our army is preparing for battle. We face the Army of the Susquehanna under command of George Cadwalader, with a strength of some 14,000 men and 7 guns. The enemy army is green, and morale is reported to be confident. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding. The supply situation of our own army is outstanding. Take a look here. The Confederacy, the Army of the Shenandoah here, eager and idle. We have 11,056 infantry, 187 cavalry, 281 artillery, 420 men are on the sick roll, so that gives us an aggregate at last return of 11,524, with 21 pieces of artillery. The Union, meanwhile, present and ready for duty, supposedly, according to intelligence, 15,000 infantry, 1,600 cavalry, 115 artillery, 1,100 men are sick with an aggregate at last return of 17,000. That does not match our pre-battle intelligence. Johnson, go ahead and deploy your troops forward here. New Market. And we have to go take Boiling Springs. So we will, assuming that's where they are, we will probably swing left at Zerk's Mill and move up this roadway here. I'm not going to use my engineering points because what's the point? Meanwhile, Jeb Stewart, go this way and give me some intelligence. Let's see if that's where they are. We could actually move up this way and move through the woods. I'm not sure. Let's see if Stewart finds them first. I don't like just sitting and doing nothing, but let's get Cooper up here on the left. We get Longstreet up towards St. Matthew's Church. So he's right on the intersection. I'm assuming they're sitting on that objective. There's some nice high ground behind it. There's a lot of high ground throughout this entire map. I don't know that we'll be able to get into position to fight in this particular day. It may be the second day that we actually get a hold of the enemy. All right, Cooper. So I'm guessing we haven't spotted the enemy yet, that they are probably up this way. So we'll just order the whole army up to the left. Why are you going way down there? It's not where I told you to go. It's real time. It is. And so like units delay orders. So I think I might have mentioned this before, but essentially every time you issue orders to your units, a courier has to come essentially from your commanding officer to issue that order. And so there are delays that are built in based on that. When you get units way off in the middle of nowhere, that does influence the ability to, move quickly. Why is Stuart marching all the way back there? What is going on with him? Also, commanders do things kind of at their own initiative to some extent. Oh, because I issued the order to switch him to single line. Well, we're just going to march around, waste a bunch of time. Where are you going? What a fucking clusterfuck. Well, we didn't detect anything. I'm guessing they're up near quick. No delay in intelligence. See what your army sees. Fog of war. I mean, you only have there's line of sight penalties. Yes, you can see what any unit in your army sees, so there's sort of perfect visibility if that's what you're talking about. But I think it's a pretty well. I feel like it's the system is takes a lot from Scourge of War, the Scourge of War series. But certainly unique. I love these maps, by the way. It's just the art style is gorgeous. You can zoom down and get to a 3D-ish look as well. And then we're doing times 10 time compression at the moment. I wish it was easier to fight the battles on these maps, because this is... I feel like I'm looking at a Civil War atlas, which is cool. Yeah, it's not the smoothest animation. Things are a little bit janky. I mean, I am doing times 10 speed, but even on real time, things are pretty helter-skelter. Also, why is that infantry marching faster than the cavalry? The enemy's probably going to have nice, big, fat breastworks by this point. They probably had them already to start the map. But maybe we can find a weakness. Already 1,600 hours. We're not going to be in position to attack anything. We're all strung the fuck out. Someone's shooting. All right, there we go. So we've detected the enemy here. They are not dug in, interestingly enough. They're in a single line across this terrain. On boiling sand. Is that the name of it? Or boiling spring? Okay. Okay. CO. You know I'm from Wisconsin, so Iron Brigade forever, boys. Anyway, Cooper, Longstreet's it's gonna take fucking 5 hours to get everybody into position. Stuart, don't like go die, okay? Just like hang out and see what the enemy's got. Okay. I also don't like how it's like, oh, well, that we detected one brigade of cavalry. Everybody get out of line formation and into column formation and start shifting the whole force. Why? Like my cavalry's coming straight at your center. Why would you make any changes? It'll be interesting, though. I wonder if it's possible we have better equipped troops than them, so we might be able to pound them at range. Elevation does also impact range. Maybe. This hill is going to make it more difficult to flank them, perhaps. My troops have also been marching all day, so... Anyway, Longstreet's up, so we're going to put Longstreet... here, I think. No. Why are you deploying like that? That looks dumb. No. All right. Deploy behind that reverse slope. I don't know if they'll be able to see you there. And then Cooper, you can deploy on the left here. A little bit janky here in terms of... There we go. Not that I'm planning a frontal assault, but if I can get on this big-ass hill and they're just down here in the open, I could probably shoot them to pieces. Why flank when you can just get an elevation and cover advantage? Okay. That is true, SEO. Armies did lose more men to disease than they did to combat in this era. $1,900 hours. End of day. Okay. The reports suggest morale in the army is intact. Supply situation is acceptable. Supply trains reached half of the units. Supplies 53 out of 100. Shouldn't impact. I mean, nobody fired any rounds, so. All right, so we're going to deploy Cooper here. If the Federals aren't going to change their deployments here, then let's do this. Let's deploy Cooper here. They are on elevation. That's going to make... assaulting them somewhat difficult. Okay. So I'm still largely tempted by, unless these guys like dig in, which I see no indication that they will. Still tempted to try and get these guys up on this height. So Cooper will advance through the open a little bit. Longstreet's going to get on this giant-ass hill overlooking the enemy position. Let's see if he can flank him now. They do have 2 infantry brigades and a cavalry brigade that's like right at the corner of the hill. So Smith is probably going to be engaged there. But if I can shoot down on these guys, that would be great. Also, I can get these batteries of artillery up. Maybe they can overlook that hill or all of their open positions and bombard them for a bit. we'll see what the enemy does. Let's move a little bit time compression here. Cooper moves more slowly because Johnson's right with Longstreet. The AI is moving out of that position there, which was a little bit vulnerable. But I can use Cooper to flank him if they're going to move to face up against Longstreet. Okay. They do have some artillery over here, so I may not know where all of their units are quite yet. So let's swing Cooper out wide so we can maybe flank them and then keep Longstreet up on this hill. Now they probably have, we're a little bit on the reverse slope, so I don't know that they can see us all that well. These 2 brigades forward. Actually, we'll move the whole force forward. I feel like Johnson should be with Cooper, not Longstreet. Smith is in contact with the enemy. Slow things down. This game would be very interesting with well-run multiplayer. So I don't know that the enemy can shoot back at us. I don't know if they don't have rifles or what, but we are engaged against them. Artillery as well. Well, some of them anyway. Okay. Colquitt. Pivot a little bit. Kirby Smith is engaged. First Brigade's taking casualties. Right, Johnson. You go down here with Cooper. Use the cover of these woods and this elevation here to engage. What is it? Canby's force here. Meanwhile, again, the AI should realize, like, oh, we're getting shot at, so let's go after the guys, right? He's just sitting back there and eating lead. These guys, the artillery is tired, but the infantry is not. The enemy does have skirmishers out front, so at least they use that on some of those troops. They're smart. They're not losing too many men, it doesn't look like. My fire is a little bit ineffective at this range. The enemy's also in cover. You say that absolutely, but it does feel like maybe they are trying to make me use up my ammunition. That's what Smith sure is doing right now. I would say it would be cool if you could use you could have like supply wagons and resupply like an Ultimate General and also in Scourge of War. But honestly, units usually take so many casualties that rarely have a lot of ammunition expended. Although that seems to perhaps be an exception in this case, because we are blasting through a lot of ammo here. Also, liar, Alfred Colcutt. You fired one round. Your boys are not firing. That's fine. Maybe we should deploy some skirmishers to sweep out the enemy skirmishers in front of the lines. They've taken a handful of casualties. I think that's to enemy artillery. Okay. Dismount and engage Pope's skirmishers. We'll bring these guys up to engage Pope's skirmishers from here. We've got 2 brigades in action against the enemy 1st Brigade here. We're burning through a lot of fucking ammo. Boiling Springs is taken. All right, cavalry, charge them. The enemy skirmishers are coming at us. Stew it. Give him the cold steel. I don't know why you charge the way you're charging, but I would think skirmishers will be sitting ducks for cavalry, even if they have more men than we do. We'll see. They're in the woods, so that might matter. Drive them back. I like the one horseman coming in here. Ah! Good job, boys. Get your asses back here. Don't over pursue. No Napoleonic heroics there. You swept the enemy skirmishers from their position. Did their job. Your job. God. Broken! Stuart, you goddamn bastard! Alright, we routed the 1st battery here on the flank. If the AI wasn't disappointing, how many players would burn and crash their monitors? I don't know. We're down to 46 rounds, so we've used a quarter of our ammo. About 2 hours. 1st Brigade's lost about 150 men. We did rout 1 enemy battery. We're up to 400 enemy casualties. Only 89 for us so far. Jeb Stuart is gonna have the reputation of Fitzpatrick. Kill cavalry. All right, so the 1st Brigade is pulling back. They didn't lose too many men. The Army of the Susquehanna has fought before. working a little bit more now that they're on the move. Go fight the 2nd Brigade. Nope, don't do that. Just engage them. And drive back Thayer's detachment. Ooh. Nice little volley there against those skirmishers. My cavalry's too exhausted to, like, get into position. Alright, you guys are at 46 rounds of ammo. Advance. Close in a bit. Okay. Some artillery on my end is firing, but not much. Cavalry is advancing on us. Oh, they're gonna get shot to pieces. They're advancing dismounted. We've also got an infantry brigade coming up here. Meanwhile, the Virginia Brigade under George H. Smith is on the enemy flank. So our casualties are gonna tick up a bit here with multiple enemy brigades engaging Cooper's division. The Virginia Brigade's in great position to flank all three of these enemy formations here. It does say they're behind defenses. I don't know what exactly. Can you guys, like, move and get the goddamn guns firing? Get something. Cavalry's already being driven back. They're trying to close the distance. They know they're in the open and we're behind cover. Got 2 brigades here, Early and Johnson, firing into this 1st Federal Brigade. Meanwhile, the other first... How many 1st Brigades are there? These guys are routing. Okay, so I think we've broken their right. Close the distance, boys. This feels like a good result so far. We'll pay for this, bloody Confederates. I'm sure we will. The history books will not be kind to us. Unless we win, because then we'll write the history. Ha-ha! Or if we lose, we'll still write the history. Ha-ha! Alright, so their right flank is gone. Left flank is going. Let's see if we can charge these fuckers. Their cohesion is poor. I wish meleeing did a little bit more damage. Like, you can cause units to surrender, but it seems like it doesn't usually happen after they're already retreating. Like, it seems weird. It doesn't feel like there's any real way to finish off the enemy. Anyway, we should have won the battle. It is still possible to lose once you've, like, the enemy is retreating. It's possible for things to flip. But that's pretty rare. You really gotta F up. It'll be a minor victory because I can't get to the stupid 22% required casualties. I think the only way that's likely is if I'm able to catch up and force the 2nd Brigade to surrender. But again, because of the way the mechanics work, They probably won't. Kirby Smith's trying to chase these guys. But Federals are moving into open ground and we're in covered ground. Let's speed up. There they go. So we got to 14%, but we couldn't do better than that. The bastards never hang around long enough. And my only cavalry was routed, so. You need to inflict like 20% casualties on the enemy army. The problem for a major victory, the problem is the enemy rarely sticks around long enough for you to do that. You can certainly force yourself to do a major defeat. The one battle we lost that we actually fought was a major defeat because I stuck around and fought to the bloody end, but the AI rarely does that. Meanwhile, Stuart, another bad day for the Confederate cavalry in the army of the Shenandoah. Loses 80 of 170 men, but the infantry, we lost 504, the enemy lost 2,000, the enemy lost 300 out of 1,500 cavalry, all 10 of their guns, 2,400 to 586 in the Battle of New Market. Be more bloody. I try. I even surround them, and the enemy's just like, nope, we're just not going to die, and we're just going to keep running, and we're fine. You can't hurt us too bad. Seems like the only real way to inflict casualties is before they retreat, which doesn't feel terribly realistic, but whatever. Another victory for the Confederacy. Perhaps we shall invade the North. Maybe we can convince Maryland to join the Confederacy. May not be major, but it seems more than minor. Yeah, fair. Victory at New Market. We also captured 1,200 rifles. What's it say for Stuart, by the way? Stuart is defamed. He's just like a bloody-minded, like, bastard. Like, he's got like 100 men left. Oh, poor Stuart. All right, let's get back up the valley. Department of Northern Virginia. 1,300. There's 2 enemy armies invading Ohio and Northern Virginia. Where's the Department of Ohio? I mean, they were in Virginia before. Doesn't seem like the enemy's moving south with any new forces. How? Oh, wait, that's Canada. Like, why is Canada red? Whatever. All right, pursue up the valley. Johnston. We're going to fight them again, or are they going to retreat? It'd be interesting if they're willing to fight that soon. Now, this is where that stream that we were watching actually came to a conclusion, but this is a little bit on the shorter end of the videos than I like. So what we'll actually do is jump ahead a couple of days to where we picked up the next stream at the beginning of things. And the next, portion of this episode will primarily be sort of logistics focused, reorganizing the armies somewhat as we kind of work through where we're at right now in the campaign. Whatever. In any event, it's the fall of 61, so let's go ahead and get moving here. The army in the Shenandoah is not in great shape. They're just shy of green readiness. And then the army of Northern Virginia here is in green as well under PGT Beauregard. It actually looks like we're back to ready to fight. And so I'm tempted to just push north. I know it's winter, or I guess it's late fall. I'm going to assume campaigning around this season isn't the best idea. But let's push further forward and see how much more the army of the Susquehanna will withdraw if put under pressure. All right, so they pull back. So multiple routing icons. And then they withdrew back into Western Maryland by the looks of it. So we're going to retake Winchester. The Pony Express closes. Transcontinental mail service is over. The telegraph replaces riders. A financial failure. Only 35 letters delivered. Yeah, so we're going to retake Winchester, and with that, we should also get this depot here near Harper's Ferry, and maybe Harper's Ferry itself. Takes a while to capture these guys. Meanwhile, Johnston's troops supply is not great. If we get the supply depot back, though, it should help, I would think. I don't understand how long these things can hold out as being like separate. Let's pause or go to real time. What's the front line situation look like? It shows all the, oh, they are. Sometimes these things don't switch over very quick. All right, so bad weather and unhappy soldiers, but we do have good supplies now that we have this Harper's Ferry depot supplying us. So we've retaken most of Virginia here. And an officer's rehabilitated. Lieutenant Colonel John Imboden, whose previous failures as a commander had tarnished his name among his soldiers and the public, has redeemed his reputation. I don't know how he redeemed his reputation. He hasn't been on the battlefield, but okay. All right, so we've got this supply depot at Harper's Ferry. We also, I think there's a depot further down the valley that I constructed somewhere. We also have a depot near Fredericksburg. I'd like to upgrade it, but I have to do the project supply reform, which I don't think I have any cash to do that yet. Where is supply reform? Could it be infrastructure reform? I'm not sure. I don't have any projects. I don't have enough money to fund any of the projects anyway. Oh, it'd probably be on the right side, actually, military. It's somewhere in here. You know, the one annoying thing is the fact that I went for the Austrian rifles. The Austrians, unlike the British, don't have any artillery they export. All right, the Army of Northern Virginia is in pretty good shape. Finances are in A. Right, let's do this. I think 11,000 men in the valley is probably enough. But I want to move these guys up to Manassas so that way we can more quickly transfer soldiers over to help them. The problem is I don't want to engage 2 of their armies with just 1 of my own in the event they bring reinforcements. So we are going to raise another division of soldiers. We will give command of that division, really, to Thomas Stonewall? No. All right, we'll give it to Lee, Old Man Lee. R.E. Lee can have his own division. Maybe he'll qualify for a corps command eventually. And then we're going to do 3 brigades under him. I think we might have some Virginia troops available to us. We do, 5,000 of them. So we'll do 2 2250 man brigades. And we'll give Jackson one of them. I don't want those beards. Clean shaven. So we'll give Preston Pond Jr., who we removed before, but we'll give Stonewall Jackson command of one of these brigades. We'll do another Virginia brigade here. These guys will look snazzy and gray with a beard. Do we want Imboden? I mean, he's a cavalry commander. We could give it to him. Or we could give someone else command. What is our current unassigned army? We didn't filter by infantry, cavalry, or anything like that, did we? Whatever. We'll leave him. We'll give Imboden a chance with infantry. I feel like he's less likely to get tarnished there. And then we don't have enough troops for another Virginia brigade, but we do have another West Virginia brigade. Apparently West Virginia is willing to support us. We'll give them red jackets. And we'll replace that commander with Goody Bryan. All right, so 3 infantry brigades being raised up. Have we merged our artillery here? 8 guns, 6 guns. 12 and those are Napoleons. 6 and 6. So let's merge these 24-pound batteries. So we'll have 8 Napoleons here, 11 24-pound howitzers in this division. These are Napoleons also. Let's merge those. So we'll have 1 battery of 10 Napoleons, 11 24-pounders here, 6 and 7. Let's merge these guys. And then 24-pounders. Do we have enough? We do. So let's do this. I'm working on getting these batteries maxed, getting closer to the max battery size, which I believe is now 16. So 11 Napoleon or 10 Napoleons here, 16 24-pounders here, 13 here. So we'll need to raid. Well, actually, we should move these guys over to this infantry division. So each one of those infantry divisions has a battery of pretty strong artillery. And then we'll add an artillery battery here. To Lee's new division. And we could go with 12-pounders, 24-pounders. I think those are the only ones I have enough of for a battery. So we'll go with the 24-pounders. Those will take about a month. And then let's also do a battery under Van Dorn of Virginia. Can we do horse artillery? Like I don't think I actually have the equipment for horse artillery. So we'll do a smaller battery. Well, we'll do a battery, a full-size battery, but instead of being 24-pounders, let's do 12-pounders maybe, or the 6-pound field guns, I guess. We could do the field guns. Those will be lighter, right? Faster to move. Bayonet charge. Not quite yet, but eventually perhaps. Also, ideally, I'd rather move these guys to the outside of the... Likely, just my own... I don't know if this is OCD or whatever, but I'd rather the infantry divisions on the left and the cavalry on the far right, but... Okay, let's also consolidate some of these cavalry brigades. So we're going to consolidate Hood's Peninsula Cavalry under Buford. So he'll have 528 soldiers with him instead of a measly like 300 and 200. And then let's actually give Hood command of Imboden's brigade. And we're going to raise a new brigade of cavalry. 500 Virginia. I'm going Virginia heavy mainly because they get recruited so much more quickly. We haven't done the cavalry project yet, so we can't raise full brigades. We can only raise regiments. So we'll raise a regiment of cavalry here. And it'll be under Imboden. Colonel Imboden. And let's move these guys over here. I'm moving that battery of artillery just so I can move them and then move them back because I want the artillery on the bottom of all of these OOB screens. So we'll have a new brigade of 500 cavalry or regiment, a 336-man regiment under Butler, and then a 528-man regiment under Abraham Buford. That will give Van Dorn about 1,500 troops in 3 regiments for his cavalry division, quote unquote. It's too late. We reformed the unit anyway. Verk. All right, so let's also get these mixed cavalry weapons replaced with something. No, we can't. So they're gonna have mixed weapons. Great. Okay. All right, that's that. Meanwhile, I can't produce any cavalry weapons, can I? I don't think I can. We do have Colt's revolving rifles. Do I have the ability... We have 410 of them. So we've got... How many Maynard carbines? Are there any in inventory? 62. So if I replace these 336 with Colt revolving rifles, I will still not have enough of the Mainyards, right? 94 shy. I'm wondering if I should have replaced the cavalry and the army over here. Well, these guys have Merrill carbines, which are different, right? Merrill and Mainyard, different. Bastards. I could go with Sharps though. 9 rounds a minute. What's the Merrill get? 9 rounds a minute. 300 versus 350 though. 4 pounds. I don't see how heavy that is. Accuracy mediocre versus accuracy very good. I'm tempted to go with the Sharps. Oh, actually, we can do this. Well, no, that still won't give us enough weapons. The Springfield Musketoons. Do any of our other units? I don't even know if our other armies that we raised have any cavalry. What do these guys do? They're 487 men with their Springfield Rifled Musketoons, or Springfield Musketoons. Okay. And then these guys, 485, also Springfield Musketoons. And then the Army of the West. What do you guys have? .489 of Springfield Musketoons. Well, go figure. All right, what should we do with some of these? These are State Guard brigades, right? And they're pretty small. Springfield Rifled, Springfield Rifled, Springfield. So they're all, most of them are Springfield Rifled muskets. So let's merge some of these guys into slightly bigger brigades. All right, 2,000. Okay, so 1,600. So we've got 2 brigades of about 2,000 and 1,600 men. 24, 24. So 2 brigades each. I don't have horse artillery available to me, though. Hey, Sconzi. I need to unlock it, I think. All right, so got 11 guns here. Coffee, good to see you. I'm tempted to add another brigade to each of these divisions. And then make a thrust into Missouri. Do I have the weapons to do that with the infantry weapons? No, not really. We could give them just the smoothbore Springfield muskets. All right, do we have any Arkansas soldiers here? Arkansas, 4,000 we do, so we'll do that because they're in Arkansas. And then I guess the next one would be Missouri, right? Which we have enough of as well. We'll give them green jackets and white pants for whatever that's worth. All right, and then we're going to replace their mixed muskets with Springfield muskets. Okay, then we're going to merge these guns. So it'll give us 10 of these guns, and then we'll raise another brigade here, or battalion of artillery. And we'll give them, I guess, 24 pounders. All right, so 2 24-pound units here. These guys will be ready in 21 days. The infantry will be ready in about 2 weeks each, and then once they're ready, we'll go ahead and try and push into Missouri. See if we can retake that state for the Confederacy. 13,000 men. Not sure it'll be enough. The enemy has 2 armies there, each with about the same number, so they'll still outnumber us maybe 2-1. We'll see. Trying to be somewhat smart with money. And actually, that army will only be slightly smaller than Albert Sidney Johnson's army. Which is, I guess, in theory, supposed to be the primary army of Tennessee, but we do have this Western Tennessee force, which would probably link up with the Army of Tennessee in the event that we needed it to. All right, so once Lee's division begins to form in Northern Virginia, then we'll push back toward Manassas. Convention is held in London. Mexico under threat of invasion. The British, Spanish, French to send troops. Napoleon III to conquer Mexico. Military adventure for free trade. Okay. I need to learn more about the French intervention in Mexico. I feel like it does not get anywhere near as much attention. But like during the American Civil War, France flat out invaded. Didn't they put like an Austrian on the throne of Mexico for a while? So Mexico had the U.S. invade and take big slices of their territories in the current day U.S. and also took Mexico City in 1848, and then just 15 years later, Mexico was invaded by the French. Not a good 20-year period, although the French were eventually overthrown by the Mexicans after I believe an extended guerrilla campaign. Still, incredibly bloody and messy affair. All right, we are into November. Cruising through here. Union passes the Tariff Act. Tariffs are rising. Europeans are shocked. Yeah, of course they are. They're not going to be thrilled with that. That'll be good for us. Our British intervention slot dropped a bit due to the Americans declaring a legal blockade. Hurt us by 20%, but then they just probably gave us back some of that. Yeah, 10% with the Tariff Act. And then we did King Cotton Phase 2, so we got that policy done. Yep, Maximilian Lazarus. That was the name of the emperor. Or the ruler or whatever. Okay. So do free trade. Which the challenge with free trade is it drops the amount of money you can make on tariffs. But on the flip side, it makes the Europeans happier. So I feel like that's not as good of an economic policy. I think we're actually just going to go with military 2 so we can start building those cores. We can do impressment soon if we need to, but at the moment we haven't needed to. Meanwhile, our prisoner of war camps are overcrowded. We've got about... Ooh, the Charleston prison camp is very crowded. Don't we have one down here? Yeah, we do. Let's expand this. Because that's cheap. What's in the North Carolina squadron? I didn't even know I built any ships out that way. Or Wilmington. Wilmington's not even blockaded at this stage. Most of the East Coast and the entire Gulf Coast is all not blockaded by the Yanks yet. With the exception, I think, of Charleston. I think they are blockading Charleston. Port Royal, at least. The Confederacy. Does it say? There's a little flame here, which indicates to me that it is blockaded, but... we're going to boost some of these markets. I can't increase the size of the POW camp down here. Okay. Can I upgrade Charleston Harbor? Charleston seems like the wrong harbor to upgrade just from a economic efficiency perspective. They're almost certainly going to blockade it. Mobile. Upgrade building. Upgrading this port increases the transport capacity from 21 to 48, leading to higher trade revenues, taxes, and tariffs. Furthermore, higher tier ship levels may be constructed. Not enough subsidies have been guaranteed. Oh, I forgot about that when I upgraded that other place. Oops. 91 million? No thanks. Is New Orleans fully upgraded? I don't know. But even if they aren't, I need to focus on subsidies more so, I think. New Orleans is not. They are double the size of Mobile. They're at 48 already. It would cost us $54 million to upgrade them again, which would get them to 91. That would be a not insignificant increase, but I'm still skeptical. It would probably take a long, long time to recoup that revenue. $54 million is a lot of fucking money. We're probably going to have to take out a bond because of all the new units I've raised and also some of those upgrades. Also, you can see most of the armies are in their winter quarters, as is witnessed by this little hut, or this little house. It does look like we have some projects available to us. Trade deals are open to us. We're already at... All right, and that's going to do it for today's episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We fought a battle, we won it, and we also witnessed some reorganization efforts. We'll pick this up next time. I hope you guys are enjoying the episodes and the series. Leave your thoughts down below, and I will definitely take a look at it and maybe respond to them. But until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.